or we know they're double blue, like that's free wipe.
I think hindsight. Tom was saying that if it's two blue, and we're in a not a great spot, we just full send them. You guys hard. Oh shit! Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby! You did it! Yeah, God. Come on, son. Yo, good shit, gentlemen. Let's go. Let's.
Alright, so today in this video, we're going to be talking about NICKMERCS. Let's just get into it. So this guy is a gaming YouTuber that started his YouTube channel at the end of 2011, and nowadays he's accumulated almost 1 trillion total channel views. And his channel nowadays overall is over 10 years old. However, he began to start his gaming career by playing the game called Gears of War, which was released in 2006. He actually was a competitive Gears of War player, like he played the game competitively, and he actually won a couple tournaments. Here's one that he won, it's up on the screen right now. Here's that tournament win, which is on the screen right now. Although the game Gears of War did eventually die out, and NICKMERCS then had to move on. So he would eventually move on, and he'd start uploading to his channel more and more. But he just moved on to other games, and we're actually going to be talking about that later in this video. You know, how he moved on to other games and what games he moved on to. For reference, though, this is what his YouTube channel looks like nowadays. And I'm going to be talking about how he got to this point in his career in this video I made. So now we get into the rise of NICKMERCS. NICKMERCS' real name is Nick Kolcheff. He was born on November 21st, and he was born in Michigan. Kolcheff grew up with his father, who made sure that he was an excellent student athlete from when NICKMERCS was in middle school and high school. And NICKMERCS overall was, he was an athletic kid growing up. And, while he was athletic in high school and when he graduated, he was pretty buff and strong, as you could see in some of his pictures. There was a picture of him in the intro of him being buff. He was pretty much always like that because his father made sure he was in good shape from when NICKMERCS was young. And yes, overall, and also even though Nick Kolcheff also liked working out, he also liked video games from a young age. He loved playing video games, and as I talked about earlier, he loved Gears of War. He started playing that professionally when he was in his early 20s, and when he was in his late teens. Even when he was in his late teens, he played Gears of War professionally and was pretty successful at that. And he was just starting to, overall, during that time, he was just starting to build himself up from the ground, if you know what I mean. Now, let's fast forward in NICKMERCS' career, by the way. Let's fast forward to early 2018. He still really hasn't, uploaded too much on his YouTube channel at this point. However, the Battle Royale game, as we all know by now, Fortnite, was getting big. And of course, like many other gaming YouTubers that were growing at the time, he decided to jump on to the large Fortnite craze. And oh boy, this is where he, for the first time, he started to get a decent amount of popularity, I would say. Like his popularity started to skyrocket because of this. And he started uploading more and more fun videos that were not clickbait, and he started uploading challenge videos related to Fortnite. also, like Gears of War, which he obviously played, by the way, I just talked about it, like that game, with Fortnite, he also started playing competitive in Fortnite as well. And he began uploading to his channel, you know, the various tournaments that he played in, and some of them he even placed like top 5, and he may have even won a couple of Fortnite tournaments. So he was also a competitive player as well in Fortnite, and that was pretty entertaining to his audience, which he built by this point by his but by his great YouTube videos, because he was a consistent uploader. His thumbnails were pretty much fine for Fortnite videos. His videos were unique, and oh boy, his charming and funny and hyped up, yo, it's NICKMERCS here, back with another video. That type of personality was able to get his views to around 2 million. And some his videos averaged around 500,000 to even maybe 2 million or 10 million views. He was really getting big. And he did well in a lot of Fortnite tournaments. And also at that time, he just left the Fortnite organization, or it's really a gaming organization, but he played for Fortnite there. At that time, he recently left 100 Thieves, which unfortunately didn't really seem to treat him well. I'm not going to get too much into what happened to NICKMERCS at 100 Thieves. I'm basically going to summarize it. He had a falling out with Nadeshot at 100 Thieves. Okay, there we go. So at 100 Thieves, he had a falling out with Nadeshot, and unfortunately, it wasn't pretty. And he's pretty much explained this to his audience, but a lot of times, multiple times, but yes, he had a falling out with them, or he had a falling out with Nadeshot and some other guys at 100 Thieves, and overall, he wasn't really happy with what the team was doing to him and all the restrictions he was getting with this team. So he ultimately just decided, he just left. He decided to leave, and thankfully, he joined FaZe Clan, and he's now actually co-owner of FaZe Clan. He was able to become that, which is a pretty good it's a pretty good accomplishment for him. He became co-owner of FaZe Clan in 2021, and he's kind of been that way ever since. And overall, it's really worked out for him. Him joining FaZe Clan pretty much not only it gave a skyrocket, it skyrocketed his popularity joining FaZe Clan, but B, also, it kind of gave him some power, some authority. He had some authority now. He owns something, or at the very least, or realistically at the very least, co-owns something, which was a pretty big accomplishment for him. He now owned a Fortnite team, technically, and he continued uploading content to his YouTube channel. And one thing I want to note is that I didn't actually mention this before, but I probably should have, but that's okay. NICKMERCS is a controller player. He plays Fortnite and pretty much any video game. Gears of War, he played Call of Duty on a controller, and yes, so he plays on a controller, and that actually not only made him unique, but also it allowed him to make more content that people wanted, more content that people wanted to watch, if you know what I mean. What I mean by this is that he made videos switching from controller to keyboard and mouse, and he made progress videos on that, on his keyboard and mouse progression. He made videos on that, and people like to watch that stuff, especially when it comes to Fortnite. And his views just kept raking in, and his paychecks kept getting bigger. And overall, his views, even throughout like 2020, his views were still relatively high. Like they weren't too low, and people still knew about him, just not as much. Honestly, once Fortnite died out in like season 13 or 14, so in season 14 of Fortnite is when people just got frustrated with the game, and a lot of the big content creators for Fortnite, like Ninja, Tfue, Tim the Tatman, etc., all those big names, including NICKMERCS, just decided to stop. So far, things seem to be going well for NICKMERCS until I think, around 2020, he pretty much he stopped playing Fortnite for the most part, and obviously this was kind of a concern because Fortnite was kind of his game at that point, and he just kind of lost it. So he then he kind of lost it, but also there was another game that was released in 2020 that was growing in popularity, which was Warzone. So while he might have stopped playing Fortnite, it honestly seemed like he was doomed there. However, he was able to find another game that was growing and that could potentially grow his viewer base, which was Warzone, which was another battle royale game like Fortnite. Well, they're two different games, Call of Duty, Warzone, and Fortnite. They're two different games, but the same concept, and that is that they were, shooters, and they were shooter games, and they were, one of them was now growing in popularity while the other was on the decline. So NICKMERCS, when he played Warzone, people actually got excited for his content. People really loved his Warzone content, and that change right there from Fortnite to Warzone kept him in the loop, and he stayed consistent with his views. His views didn't really dip. They stayed around what they normally were. So they really just didn't dip. I'd say so. His views were pretty consistent, especially with them switching to another game. So switching. So he just continued to overall during quarantine. And also during 2021 as well, he continued to make content, and one thing I want to say is that this is kind of a concern. If you scroll, so his Warzone videos, the thumbnails and even mainly the thumbnails are pretty clickbaity. Like, there's a lot of sketchy stuff in the thumbnails to his Warzone videos. If you look up NICKMERCS Warzone, if you look that up, you're going to find a ton of videos that are Warzone related to his channel, and he made the videos. You're going to find that, and you're going to see what I'm talking about with his thumbnails being pretty baity, and that's kind of a concern. That kind of is just pretty weird overall, and it was kind of a concern that his thumbnails were pretty baity. He was starting to become more clickbait now, and it was overall kind of a concern. He was still, once again, his views were still pretty good, but he was kind of coming off as a bit, he was now coming off as a bit too greedy for views, if that makes any sense, because of his thumbnails and even some of his titles being, I think, pretty clickbaity overall. He was starting to become a little bit more clickbait, and it was easy to tell in his, it's fairly easy to tell in his Warzone videos. He then began to make Apex videos where he would document his process on getting to the Predator rank, which is the max rank you could get in the Apex ranked game mode. He would document his journey on getting to that rank on his channel, obviously. And well, because Apex Legends was such a widely spoken and very well-known gaming community, it's a very well-known part of the gaming community. Because of all that, that made NICKMERCS, it made NICKMERCS a lot more well-known when he started doing Apex Legends content. That's when he became open to a new audience, like a new demographic of people. Like he got a new audience of people because he started uploading Apex content. And he's played with some pretty well-known Apex players that a lot of people love, respect, and talk about, and that's also made NICKMERCS well-respected. He's played with It's Timmy. He's played with NRG Sweet, a lot of professional Apex players, and that overall increased Nick's respect in the gaming community by quite a lot because of that. Frickin' EA workers and Apex devs and people who work for the game Apex started to know Nick now, if that makes any sense. And Nick even created and set up his own fairly big Apex Legends tournament, which is a pretty big accomplishment for any gamer or YouTuber right there to have their own tournament. I highly recommend you go check out his channel. Anyways, that's about it for this video. See you later, folks.